Thanks for joining. My name is Cephas Roberts, founder and CEO of Black Investors Association, a nonprofit organization. On behalf of Black History Month, I put together a series of videos from a book titled African Americans in U.S. History, a Teacher's Edition. If you have any questions about the studies that I go over, please leave a question below or a comment, and I will return all comments and questions on March the 5th. Lesson 1, Section 1. In this lesson, we'll be talking about the land and people of Africa. Africa is the world's second largest continent. What do you know about the land of Africa? Is it a land of dry deserts? Is it a land of tropical rainforests? Is it a land of tall mountains? Or is it a land of flat, grassy plains? If you said any of these things, you would be right. Some parts of Africa are deserts and some parts are tropical rainforests. Some parts are flat and grassy and some parts have tall mountains. The world's longest river, the Nile, is in Africa. Many different groups of people live in Africa. Did you know that there are more than 1,000 different languages that are spoken in Africa? The tallest people in the world, the Nilotes, live in East Africa. The shortest people in the world, the Pygmies, live in Central Africa. The ancestors of most African Americans came from Central and West Africa. What do you think life was like for these ancestors? Years ago in Africa, most people lived in groups called tribes. People in each tribe had the same ideas and ways of life. These shared ideas and ways are called customs. A tribe could be small groups of families, or a tribe could be very large. Each African tribe had its own customs. A tribe had its own language and its own religion. That explains why there are over 1,000 different languages in Africa. Some tribes were ruled by a king, queen, or chief. Other tribes were ruled by a group of very wise people. Families and tribes played music and sang together. The older people in the tribes told stories. The stories explained the ideas of the people. African people also made works of art from wood, gold, and bronze. You may have seen some of these in art museums. Some Africans were farmers who grew crops in the country. Other Africans lived in tribes that raised cattle. Slavery took place throughout the world for thousands of years. In Africa, slavery was used to punish people who broke the rules of a tribe. Also, people in the tribe that lost the war became slaves to the other tribe. African slaves worked in the owner's home. Slaves were treated as part of the family. The children of the slaves were free. People used to think that there were no cities in Africa long ago. But people who studied African history found out that there were large cities and even empires thousands of years ago. One of the greatest cities in Africa was Timbuktu. Timbuktu was built in the year 1100. Traders came to Timbuktu from Asia to sell their goods for gold and slaves. Timbuktu was the center of learning in history, law, and medicine. Traders also brought new ideas to Timbuktu. Many traders followed the religion of Islam. Many traders spoke Arabic, the language of Islam. The West Africans learned to read and write Arabic from the traders. People from all over the world came to study at Timbuktu. Its schools and libraries were famous. In 1418, Prince Henry of Portugal sent ships to Africa. The Portuguese traders on the ships got gold from the Africans. Much gold was found along the west coast of Africa. Traders called it the Gold Coast. Soon many Portuguese traders would come to the Gold Coast to look for gold. Portuguese traders also began shipping African slaves to Europe. These slaves became workers for rich Europeans. Meanwhile, in Europe, traders were talking about finding new ways to reach Asia. Finally, in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. Columbus wanted to get to Asia. Instead, Columbus discovered the Americas. These lands became known in Spain as the New World. Many people went to live in the New World. The Portuguese traders in Africa were clever. The traders knew that people in the New World also would need workers. The traders began selling African slaves to white people living in the New World. The African slave trade to the New World had begun. And that concludes Lesson 1. And in Lesson 2, we'll be talking about the African arrival to America. And in Lesson 1, Section 2, we talked about African customs and ways of life. And it's a custom me and my family shares amongst each other that I would like to share amongst you. And that is reading scripture from the Bible. Every day we will read scripture from the Bible, from beginning to the end, every day. And it's a scripture that stood out with me the most. And it is Psalms 121. And I'd like to share that with you guys. Psalms 121, and it reads, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil, he shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. And that concludes Lesson 1.